In our national lead, an investigation is underway into why a Boeing 737 MAX 8 plane experienced a rare and potentially dangerous back and forth roll motion during a flight. We're going to show you this animation of the motion known as the Dutch roll. It happened last month on a Southwest Airlines flight. Luckily, no one on board was hurt, but the aircraft was damaged. Joining us now to discuss, former Federal Aviation Administration Safety Inspector David Soucy. David, good to see you again. The FAA says the nose of the plane makes this figure 8 moment during this rare Dutch roll motion. How dangerous is this, and were you surprised that no one was hurt?
Well, it's extremely dangerous, and the pilots must have been able to know exactly what it was right away to be able to recover from it. But it's really something that is designed to be stopped with a yaw dampener, something that prevents the rudder from overreacting to the situation. And that was damaged. They found FAA reporting that the power control unit for that yaw dampener was damaged on the airplane, and that may be what led to what happened here.
There's another probe happening right now. The FAA, along with Airbus and Boeing and their supplier, are investigating how fake titanium components, fake ones, made it onto commercial jets that were sold with falsified documents. I mean, what kind of safety risks are we dealing with here?
Well, I talked with Boeing just recently, just right before we were talking here, and they've already done their investigations to find out if there's any aircraft in flight right now that have an issue. So they've identified where these parts came from. Most of what both Airbus and Boeing get their parts from is directly from the titanium manufacturers, although these came from someone else. And there were minor parts, they're not major parts that are being affected here. But the fact that they slipped through their quality control is, again, another black eye for both Boeing and, in this case, Airbus as well, the whole industry.
Where did the fake titanium components come from?
Well, they're investigating that now, Jake. It's a third-party supplier that Spirit Manufacturing used to get the parts, and they found that they had corrosion on them. And titanium, I don't know if you're a bunch of a metallurgist, but titanium ain't supposed to rust. It really is not. And they found rust spots on this metal, and that's why they investigated further, which is another concerning thing. If the parts are coming in, they should be inspected to meet the quality standards before they're installed on any part. So that's where I think this investigation is going to go, is not only where they came from, because there are some documents that were forged that put them into the system, but also why were they not identified before they got put on the aircraft?
Well, that's my next question. I mean, is there a way that where in the status of this? You know, I understand that the documents were forged, but where in the status of this is there any sort of fail-safe to make sure that fake titanium or any counterfeit parts don't even enter the supply chain in the first place?
Well, and that's, Jake, I've been talking about this for years with Boeing, with Airbus, with the FAA, but to stop these bogus parts, these suspected unapproved parts from being in the system, they need to invoke a blockchain methodology. It's like what you do with Bitcoin. With blockchain, it ensures there's no duplicate part being manufactured. Once that part's manufactured, it has its unique identifier number, and we could make sure that there's not another one of those out there, which would completely eliminate this problem. But we got to start using some new technology to prevent this from happening.
All right, David Soucy, thanks so much. Always good to have you on. In just hours,